So, um, so Piper today was telling me about how she had gotten over at her dad's house a like some kind of model of the human body, like that's like clear and like there's organs you can remove or whatever. It's like a educational little kids model thing. And
Mhm.
she really likes it. She loves it. And she got it for Eid. And she's like, once I got that present, I didn't care about the rest of the presents. She's like, so she really likes that. And then so I said, I was like, well, who knows? Maybe you will want to be a doctor then if you like that stuff. And she
Yeah.
goes, she's, yeah, but I don't want to be a doctor. She goes, because then you have to help people.
Ah, mortician. She wants to be a mortician.
Yeah, no, you know what I said? I go, do you know what a coroner is? And she's like,
Mm.
no. So I told her about a coroner and I was like, you're gonna examine the dead bodies. And because she acted like, oh, I know. The other thing was that you'd be helping people and you can't just like poke around in there. She wants to be able
Mm.
to like just operate. So so that's why I was like, well, how about dead bodies? You can work on them. And so I was trying to explain to her, I was like, okay, how do we start from scratch on like what a coroner is? So I,
Is
I,
a
I
medical doctor that doesn't work with the people that are breathing.
right. But yeah, but what's their purpose?
Yeah.
So I said, I was like, so let's say that someone's poisoned, right? I go,
Mhm.
and I said, and so the coroner comes in and figures out what, like, first of all, what happened. Maybe they don't even know it was poison. And then they find out what kind. And then that helps the police. And then the police, can do their investigation and stuff. Yeah. She heard me.
Hey,
So I'm gonna say hi.
hey, how you doing, Piper?
She caught me talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was outside. But so yeah, so I was like, yeah, I know. I mean, the cat is on the back. All right. It happened.
As you say, you now look like the Cheshire Cat from Alice
Oh
in
my
Wonderland. It's
gosh.
just a great big face coming
Ah,
into
I
you.
could not be it crazy. Oh my god. Huh? Yeah, Wilkins didn't like that. The cat ran away after all that.
What do I?
Yeah.
I almost ran away.
So, uh, so I was trying to explain that, like, so then you end up helping the cops and whatnot, and
Mhm.
with the investigation. So she thought that sounded cool. She liked that idea, and she's like, "I'd like to help. Like, that's kind of cool. Help catch bad guys or whatever." And I was like, "Yeah." So you'd help with that, and then she was kind of asking, like, we switched topics for a little bit, and then she's like, "Go back to the thing we were talking about before, the
Oh.
corners." She goes, "Yeah."
Mhm.
She was telling me more about that. I was like, okay, let's say that someone, it's not obvious how they died, but like it doesn't seem like they died of old age or something normal, right? And
Mhm.
so I said, I was like, I was trying, basically, I'm trying to come up with examples without being too
Boring.
gory or like shocking. Yeah. Because
Hmm.
I'm thinking about like, well, if there's blunt force trauma to the head, like something that
Yeah.
we
So you should have used the story. I don't know if I told you, but the neighbor downstairs, her mum passed away about a month ago.
Oh,
Did
really?
I tell you this?
I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Okay, so Katya was in with her mum
Hmm.
and she comes out and saw what's going on here. And then she sees the daughter outside, locked out of the apartment,
Yeah.
and trying to suss out why she's still locked out of the apartment. Well, she
Yeah.
left her keys behind. So, okay. Anyhow, they're banging on the door, can't get through. They've got a locksmith there and wondering why. Well, I know mum's home. She won't go out. We went out this morning, so not like
Right.
it's a problem. Anyhow, obviously they find her dead. But see,
Oh.
there's a very good scenario. It's like, you know, maybe somebody doesn't feel well, they go to bed for the afternoon, and
Hmm.
unfortunately they die in their sleep.
Right.
So when the relatives come round, they need to discover what illness she had
Right. Hmm.
to why she passed away.
Right. Right. Hmm. So that's
So
true.
now,
Yes.
yeah.
It doesn't have to
So
be
you can
criminal.
It doesn't have to be criminal. And I think it's kind of light as well. It's like, okay, what disease or illness happened?
Right, right. That's true. Well, I of course went the other way and I said, I was like, well, let's say I go, like, if someone gets hit with something, I go, I go, like a baseball bat and a hammer would look different. You'd be able to figure out which one was used. I didn't say
Okay.
where it was used. And she was like, oh, that makes it. She goes, because yeah, the skin would look different, and then like the X-rays, the bones would look different. It's like, yeah, they'd be broken in different ways.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Because if you hit me with a hammer here, hit me with a baseball here, the bones will look different. They'll be
Yeah,
broken different ways. Yes,
yeah,
not the shape of the implement. It's just broken
right,
bone.
right.
He died.
But yeah, and then she's like, well, how does that help the police? It was like, well, because then they use that information, like they have to like walk it back and find out what happened. So it's like, let's say they know that it was a hammer, a certain hammer or whatever, right? It was like, so now they're gonna find out, oh, well, the so and so that knew the victim just bought this new hammer last week or whatever, and like we found it in their garage, like whatever it is.
Mm.
And so then she was like, well, I have to go to court. And I said, it's like, I mean, maybe sometime, depending on what it is, you might have to talk about your
Do you want to
report.
go to court? But
Yeah,
yes,
I think
would
she
you like to
does.
go to court?
Yeah, because she talks about her friend's mom, I guess, is a lawyer and must be like a trial attorney because she came and talked to the class about her job. And so Piper, anytime she hears lawyer, she's like, oh, like Clemmy's mom. So,
Mm.
um, so what was funny though is that she's like, well, uh, what if the judge doesn't like what I say? I was like, well, that's okay. She goes, will I go to jail? I go, no, because you're not on trial. It's like she
Yeah.
feels like just anyone that's in the courtroom can be sent
Hmm.
to jail.
Yeah. No, you'll be
Yeah,
fine because you're the expert. They want to
that's what
know
he said.
if
Yeah, I was
you
like, you're
know.
just there to say your expert, opinion on things. And if they don't like it, it's not going to affect you. It might affect the person on trial.
See,
you know,
you have another one which could be. I'm trying to think which is the easiest way. Oh, here's one.
yeah.
Somebody on a boat or a cruise ship,
Hmm.
and they fall off, and they discover that they're dead. Now, how did they die? Did they
Right.
die by drowning, or did they eat something which was
Oh,
poisonous?
right.
So now you have to investigate to find out. Well, we know they died,
Right.
or maybe they died because they banged their head on
Well, if
the.
they have water in their lungs, you know that they were alive when they went into the water. But it's like if they don't have water in their lungs, then you know they died before they had water.
Before they hit the water. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So,
So if
yeah. So
there you go,
private,
there's a nice easy one for you to kind of explain
thank
without
you.
being too
That is
gory.
right. Yeah. Without me just constantly giving murderous examples.
Hmm.
Like poison or like you can get hit with something.
Well, it could be somebody who's eaten something. They've lost their insulin thing, so they are
Oh,
now
right.
fall if you've done that. So yeah, they could fall over, they could faint, therefore they've fallen off the
Right.
balcony.
Right.
They bang their head as they go as they enter the
Right.
water, but were they still breathing when you pull them out the water?
Right.
Or did they drown?
Right. Or were they on a honeymoon?
Heart attack. Oh, heart
and
attack then. Now on a
and
honeymoon.
yeah, I know. It's like, and I guess the coroner won't figure this out. But it's like, or they're on a honeymoon, and the uh the spouse like knows that the victim needs their insulin, and like just happened to get it lost in the luggage.
It's in the luggage, yes. Yeah.
I
Or
shouldn't give all
especially if
these
there's
like all this away.
no, no. Or is there a big age difference between the husband and the wife? So
Right.
we know that one has an illness, and
That's
so
true.
now it's like, well, they may have died because of their health condition,
Right.
but was that encouraged by the spouse? So therefore, you
Right.
have to discover, was it accidental death or was it
Right.
maybe planned?
And then, of course, there's always the life insurance policy. How new is that? And how much is that?
Yes. Yeah, how many millions are going to be paid? If it's lots of
Right.
millions, the health insurance company will ask you as a
Right.
coroner to do an investigation.
Yes. Yeah. So that's funny. So that was the fun thing in the car today was trying to explain that, because I think it was 2 weeks ago it was trying to explain political sides. Today it was,
That
yeah,
was a little
today.
easy. Being coroner is a bit easier, I think.
I think so, yeah. And then she was like, do they make lots of money? And I go, I don't know. I said, it probably depends on what size city or town you work in. I don't know. And so she's like, well, if you work in a small town, is that more or less money? I was like, most likely less. And she's like, well, I don't want to live in a big city where there's cars honking all the time. I was like, well, there
Maybe
are
that
big
was
cities
Orlando.
where I know, it's like there's big cities where it's not just like car horns honking all the time too. It's not like there's New York or nothing.
You
So
see, even a small village, you can have a lot of car honking because there's only one road in and out. And if you got
true.
the local farmer with his tractor going 10 mile down the road,
Right.
everybody's honking to get by him.
Right. Right.
There's only 50 cars, but 48 of them are all honking.
Right. Oh my goodness. So that was yeah, fun. And then she wanted to, I was like, there's probably a YouTube video that explains it better for kids. So then she's like, help me find one. First of all, there's not one that I could find that's made for kids. So then I was trying to find one that was at least acceptable. And I
All
found a
right.
short one that said it was going to explain the difference between a medical examiner and a coroner,
Mm,
because there is some overlap, I guess. And
yeah.
I watched the first few seconds of it. I was like, this seems tame enough. Just gave it. It's like, so I don't know the answer. We'll have to
Well,
ask her what,
I'll have to ask the
what the
expert
difference
now.
is. Yeah, exactly.
So, did you watch it?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what's the difference?
And
Yeah. Are you going to be a
well,
coroner or a
one,
medical examiner?
yeah, it's like what one cuts somebody open and the other one doesn't. Okay, so you missed something in the middle there somewhere, I think, Piper.
Right. Yeah. So, oh, but I don't have any royal news because there wasn't a podcast and I've not been paying attention. Do you have any royal news before I bring up something else?
No, I don't, because I haven't had a chance to really see much. I did see something about, I think it was a video of Meghan on this tour in Australia. They're certainly not going down well.
Oh,
That I
really?
know.
Let's see.
And I
They're
was
there
trying
right
to think
now.
exactly what it was. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. It says, sorry, now I'm just trying to look. Oh, okay. It's weird because it's like on my screen, it says like preparing live stream, but it also like dot dot dot, but it also says we
Oh,
are live on YouTube. So I'm like, oh, but I just checked on my phone. It's like, I mean, we're up. We're on.
yeah, we are.
So
I had a question for you
yeah.
to ask you
Mhm.
about somebody doing live streaming on Facebook.
Yeah.
Um, for some reason, I don't think they could get the closed captions to work.
Oh, I feel like
And
it was an automatic thing. I don't remember even setting it to do that. I feel like it just started doing that one day.
yeah, I think that's what they thought, but now they seem to get it to work. And then I said, well, can't you broadcast live from Zoom to Facebook?
Mhm. Yeah.
But which one did you have a problem with?
Facebook. So that's why we're on YouTube now. We were on
Hmm.
Facebook forever, and Facebook was the one that started being difficult linking up with Zoom.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I'll just
So,
say, yeah, I did ask. We switched to YouTube because
yeah.
Facebook wasn't playing nice.
Yeah. 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 Like she gave up after looking into it for a little bit. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
this is too much. We're just going to switch
Hmm.
platforms.
Yeah. Time to switch,
Yeah.
which is fair enough.
Um, so I was going to ask you, so a topic that has been discussed a lot this week within
Hmm.
the Eddie circle or whatever,
Hmm.
is about joining the military because his son is 18 and his
Hmm.
son's got some ideas.
Yeah.
Eddie and his son's mom are not pleased with these ideas.
Hmm.
But so we've all been discussing all kinds of stuff with the military, which made me start thinking, I wonder how is, and if you recall or know, how is the British military marketed to its people? is it as like heavily as heavy-handed as the American military, where it's like, be all you can be, or the few, the proud, whatever.
You mean to be an
Like
American, you've got to be in the forces? You mean like
yeah,
that?
or to be, it's like to put it on like a super high pedestal and like make it sound like it's the coolest thing to do. And
Mm,
like,
okay.
so thinking of like high schoolers or whatever, right? And it's sort of like, hey, like this is like a guaranteed that you're gonna come out like an awesome man. Like come join us and be something.
That's
Yeah.
tough. That's tough because it's been so long since I've been at school. I don't even remember. I think when I was at school,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure about now, but I'm going to say there must be some similarities. I think we all hear of how tough it is to get into the armed forces.
Oh,
So
okay.
therefore, you have to be physically fit, you've got to be
Sure.
strong, you've got to be so and I think you always think of, oh, you're gonna go and fight in the army, so therefore you've got to be big, rough and tough sort
Right,
of thing.
right.
Um, or you go to the Navy
Yeah,
and you don't hear much about, oh, go and join the Air Force.
right.
Also, England or Britain, let's say United Kingdom, doesn't seem to participate in wars so openly
Yeah,
as
the same
America
way.
does.
That's true.
We're not the one that is going to run across the world, and whether we're doing it for defense or for oil or for
Right,
political reasons or for humanitarian
right,
reasons, we don't seem to be the first ones in. We seem to
right,
collaborate with others on the
right.
basis of that. So the army present or the military force isn't considered to be prestige,
Okay.
I would say.
Yeah.
Um, I think anybody that you talk to about, oh, if you go into the military, you're going to come out educated, you'll come out relatively, you'll find a job afterwards,
Right.
you got pay. So people know it is, but I think
Yeah.
it's also, you realize it's not an easy path to
Right.
take.
Right.
Patriotism, I don't
Hmm.
think that really gets into the equation. It's really an American stance where as soon as you say, "Oh yeah, I served in the forces," oh, thank you for your service. It seems to come out
Hmm.
like, "Thank you, have a good
Immediate.
day" when you leave
Yeah,
the
yeah,
shop.
yeah. Hmm.
And for me, I feel that's a little bit of, "Oh, you're just saying that because that's what everybody says."
Right. It,
Um,
yeah, I'll say
God,
I've talked about this with a friend who's uh, a veteran and knows lots of veteran stuff. And he was like a younger one. And it's like, he's kind of like, no, it's always nice. Even if you feel like they're doing it because they think they have to, like, it doesn't bother him. It's like, because I'm like
okay.
you, I would think like, all right, I get it. But apparently, like, it's like, yep, you're right. I did something that was like bigger than just me. So, like, you're welcome.
But that's a cultural,
Right.
should I say, that's built into the fabric culturally.
That's true.
So if you go to, you've been to England, you go to
Hmm.
shops.
Right.
How do you feel that shopkeepers and staff are when they don't say, "Hi, have a great day, have a nice day now"?
Right. Right.
Um, you kind of hear it, but if you don't hear it, you think, "Oh, bloody rude!
Yeah. It's just sort of like, oh,
What was up with
you
them?"
didn't want me in here. Like, I guess you don't care if I'm in here or not. Like, you
Yeah.
didn't welcome me in. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. So you don't notice it
Right.
until you probably either, yeah, it's not, how am I trying to put this? If you got it, you
Yeah.
see it, and
Right.
therefore you're accustomed to it. It's when it's not there or it suddenly becomes there, it's
Right.
like, ooh, that feels a bit odd. That
Yeah.
feels a
Yeah.
bit fake,
Right.
because I know when we've gone to shops, it's like, for crying out loud, yeah, we know we're all going to have a nice day, thank you. Um, it's like, will you cut it out? Because I know you don't mean it, because it's
It's
said
just the
without
way. Yeah.
thought or
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right.
Now
Well,
that could be
good.
a British thing, but I also hear kind of Cattis saying that a little bit. It's like, oh, here we go, have a nice day. I said, I'm going to be having a bloody horrible day, and the day
Right,
outside is horrible. It's not sunny, and all the
right,
rest of
right.
it.
That's so what's funny is that so I work for a bankruptcy attorney. And so when I'm talking with people, depending on what the story is or what mode, like if I'm talking on the phone or text or email, whatever it is, depending on who it is and what the situation is, sometimes I just say like, try to relax and have a nice weekend. Like it's not like
Yeah.
make it a great day or have an awesome
Hmm.
weekend or like coming back from the weekend and be like, I hope this weekend was all right. I'm
Yeah.
not, I don't have high hopes. I don't want to put that pressure on you.
Mm. Yeah.
But
Not telling you that you will have,
I hope
but
you're all right. Like,
yeah, but that shows a little bit more of empathy
right.
uh,
Yeah.
to the thing, and I think that's what's lacking as an outsider when we hear,
Right.
well, thank you for your services or your service. It's like, really? You
Right.
don't know what they've done
Right.
because here's the other element. When you serve in the forces, you may never even served abroad. So
Right.
therefore, you might be the furthest person away from the front line.
Right. Right.
Now, those who serve in the front line, most adamantly,
Yeah.
everybody's going to say, "Well, thank you for your service.
Sure.
Thank you for," and I always changed it to, "Thank you for making this place a better place in which we live,"
That's nice.
or
Yeah.
"Thank you for I mean that because you've actually
Yeah.
done something to improve the world and where we live.
Mm-hmm.
You've impacted us all in whatever way.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people who served said, "Oh, that's nice, thank you. That actually means something."
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's because I'm the Brit. They
Yeah.
know I'm not American. I
Right.
didn't grow up in your culture to say this
Sure.
every time I see a military
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
walking down the street
And it's not the
because
generic like phrase.
not
You
the
make it
generic
your own.
phrase. I make
Yeah.
it my own. And I think it adds a bit of value that you're being empathetic.
Hmm.
And I think that's where we outsiders don't see it as being empathetic, even though it might be.
Right, right. That makes sense. Yeah.
Uh, I think,
We're
yeah,
oh sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, when you see things like the royal family, which you know has got military behind it,
Sure.
you know they are the top of the elite in the
Hmm.
services because that's an honor position to
Right.
take.
Hmm.
The same with like the Beefeaters at the Tower of London. They are
Hmm.
retirees of the military, but again, they've had to be the elite to do that.
Right,
So they
right.
are special.
Yeah.
Um, they did really well for themselves. Let's put it
Right,
that way.
right.
Uh, but yeah, I think that's about it.
But it
There's
is looked
no
at
national.
differently. You're right.
It
Like,
it is. I wouldn't say it's frowned upon, but it's also not considered. This is an option that I should consider.
yeah. I feel like,
Maybe more for boys, because like boys being boys,
yeah.
"Hey, let's go and be an
Yeah,
army
yeah,
man
yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Um, for women, I know they take on women. It's not that there is,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's the first option when you're at school. What am I doing? Oh, I could go to the military
Sure.
and study and become a doctor and
Right,
whatever it
right.
is.
Hmm.
It doesn't seem to be. If I want a career,
Hmm.
I would not. I would not look at the military to give me a career, which
Right.
at the end of the day, it is a very good path to take.
It can't, yeah. Uh-huh.
But
It
it don't
can
seem to
be.
be it don't seem to be portrayed that way. Or it certainly wasn't in my time, and I
Right.
don't hear or see that from anybody else.
So that's what, yeah. So the from the outsider of like very outside of the British military, I don't see a lot of British
Yeah.
military people, but from the very outside, it feels like that's more, I don't know if I want to say like normalized. It's sort of like, yeah, this is great, but
Mhm.
it's almost like the pedestal is down compared to
Mm,
like the American pedestal, right?
yes.
So the Americans one is like, you have done the biggest thing you could ever do in your life. And the Brits are like,
Hmm.
this is great. I mean, it's sort of like the British just like being even keeled at the first, like, right? Like not over the
Hmm.
top. It's just
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
great job doing your duty.
Yeah. Well done. We appreciate it.
Done.
Thanks. Cheers, mate. Like, moving
So maybe
on.
she's really British.
It might well be, because
Yeah.
I've often heard of, oh, my great grandfather was in the Navy, so was my dad, and so was my grandfather,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. Oh, my brother was, and I am.
Right.
So I think what maybe when one is in and they see the value of it, maybe you that group of people by
Right.
near association
Hmm.
see better value of it. If you have nobody that's been in the military, I think there is a huge distinction and distance
Right.
between that's not normal for us, so we don't inquire, we don't ask.
So when I don't know what they do, what they're allowed to do nowadays. When I was in high school, recruiters were allowed to come into the high school and hang
Hmm.
out, set up tables at lunchtime or whatever, and talk to
Yep.
the kids, right? So it's
Hmm.
like they try to get them in early. That's their job as
Yep.
recruiters.
Hmm.
Um,
Yep.
so that seems kind of wild, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It seems odd uh, to me to be able to sort of like pluck people out for such a serious thing.
Mm.
Um,
Yes.
and like when, and again, this is very much my own experience. So it's like the school I grew up in Indiana, and like my perception of it, it was very much like if you weren't academically
Hmm.
with it enough to go to
Yeah.
college, then
Hmm.
this is probably your best bet. Like this is the path for you, unless you want to go like work at
Hmm.
McDonald's forever, right?
Yeah.
It was like, well, if you can't do college, then you better do this. Like, and then at least people won't think that you're a bum, right? It's
True.
so
I I know when I said I wanted to be a chef, um, some people kind of said, "Oh, go to the military, army, you'd be a great chef there." And yeah, I've seen some TV chefs who used to be in the army, or
Mhm.
they've cooked for the royal family and what have you. So there are some prestige
Right,
jobs being a chef if you come from the military side of it. Um, but then again, I was fortunate enough to have a good set of grades
right.
that when it's like, well, would you want to do it? I haven't thought about it. No. Well, you're going to have a look at the local university. Yes, I'll go to there.
Yeah.
And they based on that. I won my seat for that before I'd even taken my final exams.
Oh wow, nice.
So I didn't need to. The
Right,
pressure was off when I
right,
had to take my exams for finals. Um, I was already in,
right.
which I think generally they only take maybe the top five or positions or the first five positions
Hmm.
they would award immediately. So I was in the one of the few five
Nice.
that got the position straight away. So for me, it was easy.
Right.
Um, Now we did have army recruiters or military recruiters come round to the
Oh,
school,
okay.
and I can't remember the timing, but it would
Hmm.
all have been around the same sort of time.
Same age. Yeah.
Um, But also, I seem to remember when we did a career option, which
Hmm.
was generally in, because our senior year goes from, we count the senior years, senior
Right.
school, from like 11 to 15 or 11 to
Hmm.
16, year one to year five
Right.
in the senior school. In your third year, you've completed that. So for your last two, you select the subjects that you want to perfect or study for your
Right.
finals. And I think it's in that fourth year they come around and ask, and I can't remember if it was the fourth year or the third year, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I remember seeing the military there. So maybe at that point,
Okay.
because you already got an idea of your
Right.
grade values and where you're going to go, if you need a readjustment, you're going to have to
Right.
buckle down and study for 2 years.
Right.
Because if you
Right.
want to be a medical doctor and you're not going to the army, you better have it better than a C
Right.
plus
Yeah. Yeah.
average.
Yeah. Right.
Um, for
That's
me,
true.
I never had any of that. I never went to see anyone. I said, "Oh, I'm going to do this." They
Right.
looked at my grades, and I think to some degree, it's like you can do whatever you want, Trev.
Right.
It's like you tick all the boxes here. I remember having a conversation with a career
Hmm.
person, um, and I came out of it and I thought that was a waste of time. It did. Like, what? I
Yeah.
learned nothing
Right.
about options or where I wanted to go. And I think that was because I already knew what I wanted.
Hmm.
And this was generally for those that didn't know what to do. And
Right.
if
They
you
didn't
have no
know.
idea, like, oh, maybe I'll be a mechanic. Well, get into the army then, because they're always looking for
Right.
people like mechanics. So I think the academics were pushed to get to university and
Yes.
college. The mechanical or the technical hands-on
Yeah.
skills were then probably guided to
R-
apprentices or military.
Okay. That's very similar. I feel like I don't know. I mean, you lived here for a long time. Did you
Mhm.
notice like just regular commercials and things like marketing, either joining the army, the
Mm,
navy, whatever, right? There's lots of
yeah.
the Marines, there's lots of commercials, even like sometimes like in the movie trailers, right? At the movie
Yeah.
theater, there's like
Mhm.
these giant marketing
Yeah,
commercials.
you go to Publix and there's a recruiter outside Publix talking
Right.
about joining the military. And see, school as well. You have, is it the RFTC or whatever it is?
ROTC. Yes,
Thank you.
ROTC.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, three of the letters.
I know. Yeah, you got
Um,
it. You're close. Yeah. Where
so
you can
you have
do your
that.
college and ROTC at the same time and like but they pay for the school like ahead of time and then like you're in after your 4 years of college or whatever.
Mhm.
Um
Yeah.
so that you're right. So that's an option. But is there anything like that in Britain?
No.
One. And two, are there commercials for joining the military over there? There
Yes.
are. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I've seen on TV, about life as being living on the seas or traveling the world from being in the Navy.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I have seen TV adverts for that.
Hmm.
What they do at school now, how they do that selection
Hmm.
process. I remember we used to. Oh, I keep biting my tongue this week. I
Oh
don't know
no.
why. Not good. And I've just
Yeah,
had
no.
lunch. Um, they used to go down your high street, and there always used to be an army recruiting shop somewhere there.
Right.
So let's say back in the 80s,
Hmm.
up until the 80s, there used to be a place, if it wasn't for job careers, there used to be an army
Right.
recruitment type thing.
Hmm.
I think they closed in the 80s, and I must admit, I don't think I've ever seen one of those in the town at any
Oh,
time after
really?
that. So again, the only time you would see them is if you went to a trade fair or maybe
Right.
they're outside Publix on a special
Right.
drive of some kind. So I'm assuming they're only at the school,
Br-
or
yeah.
it's the TV adverts,
Hmm.
or maybe if you just happen to see something around and you say, "Oh, I want to join the military. What's it
Right.
like?"
Right. But it's not pushed, or at least not in the same way as
No, see, up until the 1960s, you had national, what do you call it, where you all had to go and do 2 years service in the military. Is it conscription or something?
uh that sounds familiar, but not we didn't have right? Americans didn't do it.
I don't know, but in
I think
England they used
everybody
to.
had to whatever, like you have to sign up so that you could potentially be drafted at any point when the government decides when you're 18. Like every guy
Oh,
has to do
mm,
that, but they don't have to actually be in the military. Like they don't have to do anything unless they're
mm.
drafted.
No, I think I don't know if you sign up to say, or I think in the UK it's expected that if the government call, I think first of all they ask for volunteers.
Okay, yeah.
Um, but yeah, there used to be, and I can't think what they call it, and probably people screaming at me if they're watching this. But basically, I think it was 2 years in military service,
Okay.
and every young man,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, I know the girls didn't used to. Maybe that's changed if it
Mm-hmm.
was to still be in place. Used to do 2 years of military service
In which country?
in
Because I know.
England.
Oh, in England? Okay.
Yes, in England, and that was up
Interesting.
until about the 1960s.
Okay. Okay.
Um, Brazil, I think it's only recently, but they were still doing that. I think in the 80s.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know about 90s, because
Right.
our friend, he's about the same age as I. He said, "Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I went to the military for a
For two
year or
years.
2 years or
Right,
whatever."
right.
So there's still some countries that do.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if China's one of them, to be honest
Yeah,
with
yeah,
you.
yeah. So
Um,
that's an interesting thought, I'll say, because if it were essentially required for everybody, and
yeah.
then it's not a volunteer thing, your the public gratitude, I feel like, would be different because it's
Hmm.
like, well, everybody does it. Maybe you had
Yeah.
it, everybody has different experiences, at different timings, but it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but everybody has to do it. So maybe you volunteered to stay on and work in the
Hmm.
military, but it's
Probably,
still
yes.
everybody's at least done the 2 years. So that, I guess, I don't know, levels the playing field or whatever you want to say. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right
yeah,
because, and that, if you think about it, it's only, what, 40, 50, yeah, 50, 60 years ago now.
yeah,
So 60 years ago, there are still people that would have thought, well, it was part of my national duty.
right.
So coming out and then saying thank you for your service, why? Everybody else has done it.
Yeah, it's like, thank you for not breaking the law by
Yeah.
skipping.
Um, so maybe that's part of why we don't have that sort of respect or
Yeah,
give
and
that
that,
accreditation
right,
like you
right.
do in
That
America
feeling, that emotion
because
tied to it. Yeah.
Mhm. uh yeah, it's kind of a difficult one because
Yeah,
it's something like I said, I think if your family or your near family have been in it,
right.
I could probably answer it better. Now, if you planned me before this,
Right.
I would have asked my aunt, but
Oh
unfortunately she's
yeah.
passed away, so I can't ask her
Oh.
her because she served for the War Office,
Oh, okay.
and her son went through the Navy process.
Okay.
So I could actually ask her about that
Right.
sort of scenario, which would fill in a few of the gaps that I don't know.
Right. Right.
Um,
Well,
but
I feel
yeah,
like, I mean, mine is my closest one is my dad, and he
mhm.
was in the last war where drafting happened and he was drafted. It was Vietnam. So
I'm thinking last war.
yeah, you're
Dang,
like, what?
your
Yeah,
dad
yeah,
doesn't
sorry.
look that old
The last, yeah.
in the Vietnam War because
The
World War.
last war that we had where a draft was
Yeah,
occurred.
yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
that one. But like a friend at work who he joined the Air Force and then worked for like in space and satellites and stuff.
Mm,
Um he has a lot of good things to say about it and like overall basically good things. But he does say he's
mm,
like, but like you have to deal like with the shit basically. Like it's gonna suck.
yeah,
Like it's gonna suck. There's gonna be great things that
hmm,
come out of it, but like
yeah.
it's gonna suck too. So like, and he said that like whenever he'd have people that would complain about stuff, he'd be like, "You volunteered for this. Literally, no one told you you had to do this." So like,
Mm,
that's the American
yeah.
thing where it's like you volunteered. No one told like there's not a draft anymore, so no one told you you had to.
Mhm. Yeah.
So suck it up, Buttercup.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly that. And yeah, I'm just trying to
Hmm.
see that's partially the difference because again, America's been at more war. And I
Right.
think when you think of all the industries that can be impacted and the
Hmm.
careers that you can learn from the
Right.
military, you got to admit, in the Americans' way, you've got it switched on. It's like, yeah, we'll send 30% of the American population through the services
Yeah, I
because we
mean,
know
we've
we're
got
always
so
going to have.
many, yeah, we have so many people and so much space. So like,
Well, there's so many industries that can be
and yeah,
impacted with that and trained for
right,
that. This is the thing about keeping America great again because you're kind of training within the training of yourself
right, right.
to keep that standard and level, and
Hmm.
that you can see as a benefit. But when you've got a small nation, you
Right,
know, um, our military force is a lot smaller
right,
than the US by head count population because
sure,
obviously the size difference.
right,
but you also have to consider back in the past, there probably
Hmm.
wasn't many jobs around. Think
That's
how
true.
mighty and powerful the military of the UK was back
Right.
in the day when they were like, this is now the British Empire
Oh
and
yeah, this is it. Yeah,
colonizing
when you're
everything.
like going all over the world, yeah, and
Yeah.
they've got
And
troops
and even
everywhere.
with that, yeah,
Yeah.
so at one point, we were a huge military force of
Right.
the whole world. But then looking back over it, there's also that bit, yeah, well, that wasn't right either. That wasn't really a good political
Right.
stance to come out and say, yeah, look, the sun never,
Oh
was
yeah,
it the
the
sun
sun
never
never
sets on the
sets
British
on the
sets?
British
It's
Empire.
like, but look at all the
Right.
mess you made in all these other countries, and you just left
Right.
them to it. You just robbed them of all their
Right.
valuables, taught them English, showed them how to build a railway track, and then you left
Right.
them in poverty.
Right.
Um, it's very good.
Right.
And maybe that also has a bit of impact on why bother joining the military again?
Right.
Because we
It's
don't,
it's
we're
not the
not a nation
same.
that's going out to conquer the world and discover
Right.
the world.
Right.
We are a nation that's really just protecting our boundaries, which
Right.
we don't do
Right.
that well anyhow.
Right.
Um, and then you get powerful military systems say, hey, you got to come and help us. And I think
Sure.
that's where Europe together,
Hmm.
that NATO element. It's like, well,
Right.
we get some from there, some from there, and some from there. Now we
Right.
can send
Now we're all together.
200,000 troops to go
Right.
and defend or attack.
Hmm.
Where in the stance of America, they're going to send 200,000 troops of all their own.
Right. Right.
200? Bah, we're sending
Sure. Yeah.
300,
Yeah.
you
Right.
know,
Yeah. Are you sure you
which
want
is
more?
only,
Yeah.
yeah, that's only 10% of your population.
Hmm.
So you think if you've got 300,000 troops being deployed somewhere, not for
Right.
attack or whatever it is, that's significant.
Yes. That's true.
10% of, was it 50 million?
Is that
Is it 50,000?
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or whatever it is. Yeah, no, hang on. It'd be
Well,
half a million. Be half a million.
oh,
Where
okay.
10% of 300 million, has to be 3
Hmm.
million. Duh. So if you've got 10% of your population which
Right.
are in the forces, you've got a thing of 3 million people
Right.
in the. Well, of course, you've got the infrastructure to support them and
Right.
find jobs and careers where now in the UK, we are no longer an industrial. We are no
Hmm.
longer creators. We're much of a service provider.
Right.
So we
Hmm.
provide services. We're very much managerial type
Hmm.
problem solvers in business. So we're great
Right.
with business and finance. Well, we don't need that force
Right.
anymore.
Right.
And that could be right, it could be wrong. But we're always protected by that little bit of water between us and Europe. You can't just
Right.
walk in.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
either
Yeah.
got to take a plane or a boat. And
Right.
tell you
Right.
what, planes and boats are bloody big things to notice
Yeah.
suddenly
They
parking
notice.
outside your front door.
Right. So that, okay. Yeah. That's interesting. You're right. That it's like, well, they don't have the need or use for such a, they don't have to try and draw in as many of the youths
Mhm. Yeah.
because,
Hmm.
because they don't need them on standby essentially. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we're not the ones that are kind of running the world. We're not the ones that is going to impose or defend other nations
Right.
until called for. Now, don't get me wrong, we have a military force that
Right.
is adequate for what we need.
Hmm.
I think in the sense of maybe Russia, China, America, maybe a few other countries, you probably have an excess amount of troops, so therefore you
Hmm.
have to have other things for them to be involved in.
Right. Right.
Um, when you think of all the other industries that are involved in supporting
Right.
the military in the US, you can kind of rattle them off. In the UK, I could rattle off maybe one or two.
Hmm. Oh, I see.
They're probably there. I don't
Right.
know anybody in the UK that, let's say, owns a company that builds ammunitions or guns or
Right.
anything
Right.
like that.
Right.
Computer systems, yes.
Yeah.
Um, aircraft engines, yes.
Yes.
Shipping,
That's to say.
yes.
Yeah. 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 Right. Uh,
What about all the other elements that come
yeah.
with it?
There's space and satellites. That's
Well, we're
Uh,
not in the space
you don't
race,
have
are
that
we?
much.
Not
Yeah, I know.
really.
It's like you don't not so much.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, because I'm like that's if it's like yeah, people who want to have specific careers in mind, like say post-military, but the military is a great way to get, into that path or whatever. That
Yeah.
there are, it seems like a lot of those, like for
Yeah. If I wanted to learn, let's say, about space technology,
right.
if I didn't live in Florida or Texas or maybe California,
Hmm.
my best route is probably joining the forces
Right.
because you haven't got NASA in you've got NASA in Texas and in Florida, and don't they have
Sure.
some in California as well? I think.
Maybe.
Sure.
Maybe. I don't
Yeah,
even
I
know.
think there is a base there or something. But unless they're your local employer,
Hmm.
I'm in New York. Where am I going to have to go? Well, I've got to go to one of those. The
Right.
nearest thing to New York is Washington for military
Right.
academies and docks and shipping and all the rest of
Right.
it.
Right.
Like, oh, okay. But Idaho, middle of nowhere.
Right.
Not much military there, not much space work there.
Right. Yeah, not space work. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure they have a base and they do something there.
Oh yeah, probably they
Yeah.
do. But if I wanted to get into that, what would my options be? I'd
Right.
have to move to the other side of the country anyhow.
Right. Right.
Moving to the other side of the country isn't going to guarantee that I'm going to get to the job. But
Right.
enrolling in the military, now I can actually learn about it because I can be into the space race.
Right. Right. That's true.
And I
Yeah.
see it's an easier option to choose that because of the opportunities that it can offer
Hmm.
in the US,
Yeah.
which is maybe why they make it seem more attractive.
Right.
But you've got to have the resources there for them to be doing that
Right.
because we don't have it in the UK, that's for sure. It's
Right. Right.
primarily defense. I think it's just primarily defense
Okay.
is the only
Yeah.
reason
Yeah.
why you're going there. There's nothing as an industry I can see apart from aircraft building, shipbuilding, tank building, apart
Right.
from
Right.
building
Right.
actual things. But where are all the other communications? Okay, GCHQ is good in telecommunications,
Hmm.
but you don't have to go into the military to do that.
I see. Right. Well, so yeah, but it's like it comes down also some of it comes down to like you said, like money, right? Like if you would have had to pay for school versus the military, like pays basically will pay you to be in school because like you get money, they're
Yes.
paying you while they're also paying for your school and like
Hmm.
room and board and everything. And it's like, and then if you stay in the military after that, it's like you get housing money and just like my friend was telling me all about everything
Yeah.
that gets paid for. And you end up with like your money that just like is yours a large amount every year because they're paying everything else, right? Like,
Hmm.
so the
Yeah.
money that you're making is really the money you're making, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. But, and he was saying how, like, with employers afterwards, after the military, that basically uh, most employers love it if you were in the military because what it means, he goes, if you went to college, that means, okay, you've got decent time management. If you
Okay.
go to the
Yeah.
military, you know, oh, like you've got all these skills and stuff or training, but you also can still get your work done when you're miserable. So, like, we know that you've had
Mm,
to hate your work, but you still
yeah.
had to do the best job possible. So it's like we can trust you to not, I don't know,
Rock the boat.
walk out,
Hmm. Yeah.
like like to not constantly
Mm.
cause problems or question things or whatever.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. You've got the discipline of doing the work, but you've also got the respect of hierarchy.
Yeah, yeah. So that's yeah, it's an interesting thing. So I'll say he's at least made me, I was like, all right, like as if I'm
Mm.
joining the military, but I was like, all right, like I'm I'm not as down on it as most.
as it was before.
before. It's not for
Yeah,
everybody. It's not, but like,
it's no. But also, I think in the US, to be fair, all right, we know AI takes over, computer takes AI
sure,
over. Most of those jobs, as we said, go to those that are not academically qualified to do
right,
some of the other jobs. Now, if we think about those type of jobs, they're far and few between to have enough people employed in the whole country to do that.
right.
So by having a military force and training them,
Hmm.
you're now diverting them and say, right, okay, we now have to spend on these people to educate them because they weren't doing it by themselves
Right, right.
at school. Because if you think about it, school in one sense is a bit of a voluntary system of
Sure.
education.
That's true. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
When you're in the military, you will, it's like learn or die, basically. If you
Right,
don't
right,
know how to do this, you're gonna die, man.
right. Or we're gonna ruin your record
If
anyway.
you,
Like if you get dishonorably
yes.
discharged, if you mess it up, then
Hmm.
it's like, well, now you just lost all your money and you lost all the benefits you were gonna get out of this. And now
Yeah.
nobody cares. Like you're not gonna be able to use it to get a job. Right.
Yeah. Now you are just the beach bum that you pretended to
Right.
be, and good luck with that.
Right. Right.
Um, so yeah,
And you're right.
it
And I
is
guess there's more
seen.
grace if you fail out of college or out of one university,
Mm,
right? It's like there's still hope
yeah.
for you. Like you can
Oh yeah.
restart.
Oh, you're
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
smart enough. Go and study something else.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
History wasn't your forte.
Right.
Go and do business administration or
Right,
something.
right. Or maybe
Okay.
that college was too big for you, or that college was too small. You didn't, go try this one.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
And I think that is the one thing that we lack in the UK because it's all, should we say, academic work.
yeah.
Most of the jobs in England are academic. You still have a lot of manual labor, industrial
Mm-hmm.
things. You still pump your own oil. We have a few there, but when you
Yeah.
think of the thousands of people that you
Mm-hmm.
can employ doing hard labor work
Right.
in the UK, is a lot less. So there's we've got to educate them to a standard so they can actually
Right.
get out there and find a job. Now, what that is doesn't matter. If you fail, doesn't matter.
Right.
You've had an education.
Right.
Um, because we don't build, we don't have coal mining anymore. We don't really do a lot
Right.
of oil drilling. We don't do
Like you don't have a lot of
uh
factories, right? Like
well, factories we used to, and I
used to.
wouldn't
Yeah.
say that there isn't. I'm assuming that we do.
Yeah.
There's more assembly lines, cars,
Right.
furniture, food. So
Right.
they are there. But I think a lot of those jobs where the factory we think of is
Right.
now automated.
Right.
Again, you need academics to
Yeah.
either repair the robot or to program the
Mm-hmm.
machines or to physically keep the human in the loop to check. Well,
Right.
one human replaced 100
Right. Right.
before.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's not the physical element of doing it.
Right.
It's a matter of, oh, we need somebody there to press the button if somebody's got stuck or all the wood going in one side is bottlenecks, is not moving. We need somebody to press the
Right.
button
Right.
to
Right.
switch it off. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
don't need a lot of skills for that.
Right.
But
Right.
what else? Where else are you going to be educated? The military is a good option, but if it's not
Mm-hmm.
promoted like it is in the US, you're left basically going from grifting from one job to
I was to
another.
say just like one. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Just
what
like.
happens is you
Mm-hmm.
get people with degrees going into administration jobs
Mm-hmm.
as an assistant,
Mm-hmm.
but they have a full bachelor's degree and they're
Right.
like, yeah, they're probably more qualified with their bachelor's degree than maybe their bosses.
Right. But I feel like that's such a common thing here too, though. It's like
Mm.
tons of people have, I mean, I'm one of them, has a degree, and it's just like, well, you can always become an administrative assistant or whatever, right? Like
Yeah, or a shop
anyone
assistant.
will hire you for an entry level position,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah. And again, this is the education system where it's flawed in the sense
mm-hmm.
where, oh, you got to go and get a degree. You got to go and get a degree. And Catherine and I had this conversation just recently. Oh, get yourself a degree in. I said the point is, no guarantee. Oh yeah. I said, what do you mean? Oh yeah, if you go to the right place and you get a degree, people come and hire you. I went, I've never heard of that. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I went, where?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't happen. I haven't heard it in America. I haven't heard it in the UK.
Right.
Now, okay, and I don't know if I mentioned this, she's now doing AI governance.
Oh yeah, you did say that. Yeah, 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 because some of the cool stuff
Yeah,
that she's finding.
so yeah, oh yeah, she got 100% in one of her things, and she wrote the thing and read it all out to me. I thought, no, my reading level in English is bad. I went, no, I understood it all
Oh,
perfectly.
that's awesome.
And then they had to self-mark some other people. This one guy wrote something that was like 10 words in a line, which made no sense whatsoever.
Uh-huh.
And if you're writing a thesis or an answer to a question, you write the answer to the question
Right.
in the answer.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it was like, what would be the reason for maybe using AI? Because and the answer just came out. So you have no idea what the question is. It just makes things better. What makes what better? It's like
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
need a little bit more context on this.
Right, right.
Um, But when you think about what she just said, yeah, when I get qualified in this, oh, I'm going to have, she set up her own company, all the rest of it with someone
Yeah.
else, but there are people going to be looking for us. I went, really? How? Well, there's only 8 of us in the whole country. Right.
Right.
Okay. Valid point.
Right.
Which is why now I think it's this week or next week, she's now studying in online, but in Oxford, in
Oh
England.
wow. Oh cool.
Well, yeah, if you think of Oxford, it's like, oh,
Yeah, yeah. It's like, oh,
smart.
well, la-di-da.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm going to retire. I'm just going to come and
Right.
have a tea time afternoon with you
That's
every
right.
day of the week. Um, but when you get qualifications from those, like from Yale or Princeton or
Yeah.
MIT or
Harvard.
what's it? Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's another one that should Berkeley. Yeah, she was looking
Oh
at
yeah, yeah,
Berkeley.
Berkeley. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm. Damn.
Yeah.
Talk about a lot of money and a lot of money just for this course to last 18 months.
Right, right.
It's like six digits, yeah, 100, over 100,000. Like, that's a lot of
Well,
money.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And she said, the point is when you qualify, the government are probably going to come to university and ask for these people to be employed or big
Right, right,
manufacturing because there's nobody else that does this. So,
right.
yeah, if you're studying at those levels,
Right. And
they are
you're
the ones that are
that's
going to get the jobs.
specialized and there's so few of you, like you're early on
Mhm.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
So
and you're
I
set up
think
nice.
if you
Yeah.
come out of those, but again, it's the rich that get rich because, the ones that can afford the prestige names and the
Right,
qualification.
right.
Doesn't matter what the qualification is, it's where you study.
Right, right, right. Yeah.
You know, your de don't mind me asking, but where did your degree come from?
Ball State University, Muncie, Indiana.
Okay. Now, if that had Princeton in the front of
Sure.
it, would that have changed your prospects?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, right.
It's prestige, isn't it? Same
Yeah,
with
it is.
Oxford and Cambridge in England. Oh,
Right, right.
I studied at Oxford and Cambridge, and even as an American and even as a
Yeah, even
Brit,
though, yeah, it's
if
like
you,
we know. Yeah.
yeah, oh, if you come from Princeton or you come from Yale, ooh, I
Ooh,
don't care
yeah.
what it is.
Right.
It could be a degree in home economics and knitting
Right.
because you can get them in those. It's like, oh, it
Right.
doesn't matter. She's from Yale.
Yeah, yeah. It's like,
Ooh,
yeah, but she went to Yale.
yeah.
So,
No matter what it is, give it the
right,
most simplistic degree, the
right.
first entry level you can get. She went to Yale.
Yeah, that's
Doesn't
right.
matter.
Nope. Do you have anything you have to go do? It's
No,
5:02. Okay. I was like,
no,
I'll
I'm,
have to
I'm
go
good this
and
week.
check on the kiddos. They're outside
Mm,
playing.
yeah,
But this was fun. Thanks for chatting.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
Well, it's the one thing that we do well, isn't it? It,
We
it doesn't
do. We
matter
do
which.
chat well. It's like
Yeah,
it's like it's the main part of tea time. It's conversation.
it's what it's about, isn't it? Is having various things,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, and I think you said last week, I can't remember if it was before or after we finished, is
Mhm.
that we can play devil's advocate on both sides of the
Yes.
fence and not fall out over it, and
Yeah.
we can listen to a point of view and actually discuss it where other people and have different conversations.
Right.
It's like, no, I'm not going to let go of this, and rightly so. Sometimes we can,
Sometimes. Yeah.
but it doesn't affect us coming back next week for another round and another bash at it. And
Right.
like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
score level 0 again this
That's
week.
right.
Who's
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
out
It's
on
like,
top?
all right, here's the game this time. Here's what we're going to talk about. And we can decide which side we want to take.
Yeah, and I think sometimes halfway through the conversation, we flip flop from one
That's
to the
what, yeah,
other.
I know. I was gonna say, yeah, I was like, then we'll end up flipping, like, well, okay, but yeah, we like, so we do look at it that way, like,
Mhm. Yeah, we either both end up on opposite sides again, or we're both on the
I
same
know.
side. Like, hey,
Yeah,
magic, it worked.
that's great. Well, are you having another work end, or what are you doing? Yeah, okay,
Yes, I've got to get this web page done for this charity that I'm working with, and a few other bits and pieces. So I said it should have been done this week, and it's
right,
still sat here trying to get it sorted. So I'm going to work on that this evening and tomorrow. Um, then I want to catch up on a few things that I want to try and do and grow my business
okay, yeah.
and catch up. So I'm going to be working most this weekend, I think.
Is there any
Nothing really
Formula
to do.
One? No
I was
Formula.
just thinking that I think the next one is Miami, and
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard anything or seen anything online.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm beginning to think it might be next week
Okay.
because they cancelled the two because of the war in the Middle
Oh,
East, because
yes.
that's where they were.
Oh, gotcha.
Um, so I think the next, I heard it was a 20 something. So if
Okay.
we add, so the next one will be 22, and the next one's going to be like 29, isn't it, or
Okay.
30.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's possible if it's not next week, it'll be the week after. So I'm almost adamant it's not this week
Okay.
because I
Because
think
you
they
would have
said it was
seen
like
it
five.
already. Yeah.
I would have seen them
Or seen
training
something about it.
last
Yeah.
night. Yeah. And I think they said it was a 5 week gap, and I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
counted,
You're
which
not
is
counting the
longer
weeks.
than no, which is longer than their summer break of three weeks or
Oh,
something.
really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
so it's going to be interesting to see what comes out at the next race because they've all been
Yeah.
having some rule changes and some performance upgrades and things
Hmm.
like that. So it might be an interesting start because it's almost like the start of the season again.
Oh, right.
Because
Yeah.
we've only had 3 races,
Oh, wow. Okay.
but
And then they had a long, an extra long
uh,
break.
yeah, an extra long break, and always start again, and then who knows where the next
Right.
war's going to start? That might start in South America
Right.
or somewhere. So then all the American and the South American ones will come out of the sequence, and who knows? But then we got the World Cup coming up in July, haven't we?
Oh, do we? I'm like, I
Yes,
don't
you
know.
do.
Do we?
Considering that you're hosting it with Mexico and Canada,
Oh, are
you
we?
better pay yes, you better pay attention to that one.
Where are we hosting it?
LA,
Okay.
Houston, um, I think Atlanta. I'm not sure about Miami.
Okay.
I think Atlanta, Houston, and LA are three that I kind of know, but the other ones I don't know because we're
Okay.
still not sure. I think there's
Sure.
5 or 6 in total. Um, I would say Washington or New York. I got a
Hmm.
funny feeling one is there, but there's still beliefs that things are going to change, and if the longer it goes on, the less likely it will change.
Right.
But the weird thing is, it's like, will Iran be allowed to come and play?
I don't know. Will they?
Well, they've already qualified, and they qualified before the war. The
Right.
footballers have
Right.
not the problem.
Right.
The support team really not much of a problem, but the fans, ironically, before the war, were
Yeah.
already banned. And I think out of the list of everybody
Oh,
that was coming, there are a lot of countries who are. I think the Ivory Coast was one.
yeah.
Somewhere in Africa were
Hmm.
also. They can't get visas to come and see their homeland play in the World Cup because of
Oh,
the new immigration system.
yeah.
So it's been causing
Oh,
a lot of political
that's,
unrest.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah, that would be. a bizarre thing. I mean, for lack of a better word, that would be a bizarre thing to,
Yes. Oh
right?
yeah.
To be like, well, my team's going, but, or as a team, part of the team being like, we literally can't have anybody else like with us.
Well, no. And the ironic
Yeah,
thing, let's take Iran, because here's the scenario of
right,
it. If all the Iranian supporters are not allowed to go and support Iran,
right.
and Iran go and play, let's say in Houston, I don't know where it is, but let's
Yeah,
say they go and play in Houston. Do ICE now suddenly turn up at the stadium to see who supported Iran? Because are they here legally or illegally?
right,
And that was the other conversation. Well, even if it's an American supporting, are you now being brought into question for who you're supporting? Now,
right,
this
right,
is just a sporting event.
right,
If you had to pay $400 for a ticket to go and, let's say, see, well, we'll make it America. Let's say you were going to see, think of a country that you're probably favourable that we wouldn't mind to watch. Let's say
what?
England.
Yeah, I
I
was
think
like, yeah,
everybody
how
knows
about
that English
England?
football. Yeah.
Yeah,
So in or Scotland, yeah,
yeah, yeah, right,
Scotland are going to play Iran. I think that might actually be a thing. If it costs you $600 to go and watch this game, then all of a sudden, because there's nobody buying the tickets for Iran, and you can't sit on the other side of the stadium because it's going to be empty,
right,
and they sold it for $100.
right,
As an American who might want to be interested in watching it and never been to a World Cup
right,
thing, would you not think, oh, for $100, I'll give it a shot. I'll go and see what
right.
it's all
So,
about.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm like, so, like, no one else is sitting there. Fine, I'll sit over there.
Yeah,
But,
I'm sat on the other side of the stadium. There might be some Iranian supporters there,
yeah,
but I'm there. I don't care. I'm neutral. I'm support.
right.
I want to see
I just got
Scotland
the
win.
cheap seats.
I got the cheap seats.
Mhm.
Would you then you get stopped by ICE? Why are you supporting the other side?
Right,
Oh,
right. Yeah.
yeah. There's a lot of political stats. I know some countries have been threatening not to turn up. One is Germany. You
Oh,
know,
okay. That's what I
I
wonder.
think
Yeah.
France was one. I think England were also considering at one point,
Hmm.
but nobody's actually taken the plunge to say they're not going yet.
Okay. It's
So
just
probably will go
right,
because people have been buying tickets for like the last 12 months.
right, right.
FIFA need this to go ahead. It's
Yeah,
already
yeah,
turned
yeah.
into a political catastrophe,
Right,
but they need it to go ahead because if not, they've got no money.
right, right.
All these countries, all the cities
Yeah.
who are expecting the millions of dollars to come into
Sure.
America already know it's already not going to be sufficient.
Right, right.
They think this is going to be one of the biggest losses in the FIFA World
Oh my
Cup.
gosh.
Well, because you
I
take
know.
Canada, how many people would come through from Canada? Because now everybody's booking to go to Canada
That's what's
or
it. Yeah, yeah,
Mexico
yeah.
to see the games
And not mess
because
with
they're
coming
not booking
here.
in America because they're like, I don't know if it's safe enough to go.
Right, right. Yeah, they're not gonna get questioned in Mexico or Canada.
No. And, if I was in, I think even anybody around the
Yeah.
world, if you're concerned about the political stance of it,
Hmm.
all right, I'm not going to go and see it in America. I'll go to the US and to Canada and get it.
Right, right,
Canada and US is pretty much the same
right.
country
And I
in
could
the sense
see
that,
like probably plenty of Americans being like, it's not going to be the full effect or whatever here. So like, I'll just hop up to Canada. Like even the Americans be like, I'll hop up to Canada and watch it there.
yeah,
Like,
or down to Mexico,
or
you
down in
know,
Mexico. Right. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. It's kind of an easy thing to do.
yeah. Hmm.
Probably harder because they're going to be full. But that's what I said. If the stadiums are going to be empty for TV purposes, they
Right.
need people in
They do need people.
those
Yeah,
seats.
yeah,
You know. So what they're going to do? If nobody's buying the tickets, they're going to have to sell them off cheap
yeah.
in
Hmm.
somewhere. They're going to give them away as prizes for raffles and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
competitions and what have you, just to put basically say bums on seats or cheeks on seats. I think that's the polite way of doing it because
Yeah.
bums in America is another thing all
Yeah.
entirely
Well, no, bums
again.
are okay. Bums, you can, bum is still your butt.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
because I
It's
thought it was
the,
that's a vagrant person.
oh, it is. Sorry. I see. I was thinking about how we are with our which you guys call a bum bag, and we call a
Mm,
fanny pack. That's what I thought. I was like, no, bum
yes.
isn't that bad.
Yeah, thumbs are not that bad. In
Yeah.
that
And
sense, it works.
then you're like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. For
Mhm.
an unhoused person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot it meant
Well,
that.
you can't call them homeless. You got to call them displaced people, haven't you?
That's right. Right. Well, Eddie's daughter, she's 12 or whatever. She was saying she's like, my friends and I really, she's like, well, we're not homeless because we don't own homes. And I go, you have house. Like, so then I go, well, the new term of being unhoused is better for you because you are housed. It doesn't matter who owns it. You are housed.
Hmm.
So it's like, you're not an unhoused person.
You're not an unhoused person. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, and if you're a housed person, it sounds like you've done something wrong. It sounds like you've been demanded. You must be housed. You
Oh,
must be
that's
put
funny.
away
Yeah. Yeah. Like
somewhere.
house arrest.
Yes.
That's funny. Okay. I hear they're in
Yeah.
the
I
house
was going
now.
to say I gotta let you go. I know
But
you got to go.
yes, but it was lovely chatting. So